everybody, happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Illustrator Creative Challenge. My name is Clary and I'm your host today for this last day together at the Daily Creative Challenge in Adobe Illustrator. But don't worry, if you're joining in today for the first day, that's still a perfect day to join because we're gonna have some fun sharpening your skills and learning new techniques in Adobe Illustrator if that's maybe your first time playing in Illustrator. But first and foremost, I want to say hi in the chat. I can see Frank. I remember you from the other stream with Asus at Rework It. Also Sherry. Steve, why you say Kia ora? It's not the first time that I read that. I was like, wondering what does it mean, Kia ora? And greetings to all. Becca, nice to see you. Juwan. Megan, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, in the chat, joining us, the amazing Wade Acuff. I had the honor of being the moderator for like a minute during this stream earlier. It was so much fun, super inspired. Wade, amazing stuff. If you haven't totally given a big shout out to Wade, go and check him out on his Behance page and also I believe his Twitter. So you can see when he streams next year on Behance. Christy's here joining us from Maryland, USA. Fantastic. Hi, nice to see you. Bruno Silva in the house. Carrie, Mallory, let me know, does that sound okay? Mallory helped me out so much during the other stream to make sure that we have no issues with the mic. Ruben, Biola, Anthony, fantastic. Right, so it looks like we're ready to start. Again, happy Friday, whatever you are, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Is always very exciting. As I mentioned many other times, I'm here in Manchester, UK, where I run my studio and of course where I run the fun for the Illustrator Creative Challenges. But if you haven't done so already, make sure to head on behance.net/challenge/illustrator. Bruno is saying that is late with the challenges. Don't worry, you got the entire weekend. Julia is coming up next week with 2 more weeks of fun in the Creative Challenge, so you can have definitely time during the weekend to catch up. And remember, those challenges are for you to improve your skills, so make sure that you go ahead on the landing page in order to replay all the previous challenges that we have gone through throughout these 2 weeks. We started on the 9th. Ashraful joining us from Bangladesh, Cole from Dallas, Texas. Fantastic. So as I mentioned at the very beginning of these challenges were about food and learning how to create a different kind of marketing materials for the food industry. So if you haven't had the chance to start yet, make sure to go ahead and check those out. You can watch the video and get access to the starter file in order to practice during the entire weekend. So if this is your first time to playing around with Adobe Illustrator, make sure to go ahead and get Adobe Illustrator, click on download in order to get the app and get a free trial to get started here with me. Fantastic. So I'm going to get into the chat in a second. By the way, if you're watching from YouTube and you want me to answer your questions, say hi and just see that you're there, make sure to head on behance.net/live so we'll be able to watch your comment and your questions. So today, as I mentioned, we are at the last day, packaging design. I've created some starter files, so go ahead and click on get started in order to open up the starter files. As you can see, there is a folder with branding assets. In the branding assets, you can find the branding and also Bryant font family, which we already used in another stream. Oh my god, that was my bottle. I was like, what's this thing? It's just some water. If you go back into the folder, you can also get access to a template that I provided for you. And again, if you check out all the other streams, there are many templates that I provided for you. So, we've done a poster design, stickers, gift cards, social media background. In all of these getting started folder, you have templates that you can use over and over again when producing marketing materials in Illustrator. Chris Olson in the house. Nice to see you. Hi, Chris. Richard has a question. On release, the circle had editing handles and one control sticking out to the right. How do you do that? It is a modifier key or a preference settings? So I'm not sure. Maybe did I miss something back in the chat? Let me go ahead, make sure that I get the right mouse for the chat and see if I can help you out with your question, Richard. Otherwise, if you can please just on a previous show, you use the move tool V to option click and drag a copy of a circle shape. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's jump into Illustrator and figure this out with the V tool. I think I know what you're talking about. It's just very easy to click and drag and copy, but we're gonna go ahead and see that. Fantastic. So make sure that you download your starter file. Here it is. And also, if you want to join next week with, as I mentioned, Julia Masaska is going to start with 2 more fun weeks of Adobe Illustrator. Click on subscribe and you're going to be reminded on Monday that it's time for creative challenges. Right, there is a second part that we're going to get into at the end about sharing your file with the community and on Behance. But let's get started first so we can create our design and then jump into sharing. So I was having some real fun creating, and I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna unveil it right away. I created some packages here, packagings here while I was watching Wade Acuff, and I just, you know, wanted to show you how far you can take your packaging. Again, those are very simplified version, but it gives you an idea also on how to display your files so it looks a little bit nicer, because you know, you can for example, if you're working with a client like this one that produced chocolate and you do this beautiful logo, which is also a part of the file that I provided for you, yeah, okay, the colors are on point, everything looks nice, but you as a designer can have the possibility and the vision to imagine how the logo is flexible. It can adapt also to packaging. Clients don't do that. They have to worry about their business, they have to worry about sales, their team, production, product. They don't have the time to even envision that. And that's why I strongly suggest, even if you create a flat mock-up just like this one and you use it, they definitely start to see the possibilities with their design. Fantastic. So I'm just going to go back and just mention what Richard was saying here in the chat. So if we press the letter V on your keyboard, you access the selection tool. Then if you hold Option and you then drag, you can create a copy. Now when you can create a copy, you see that there is the little white, also let me zoom in into there is a little white arrow popping up that is basically saying, hey, if you drag now, you're just gonna create a copy, and you create as many copies as you want. So that's all I did, and it looks like it works. I don't know if you had any issue using it, but that's how you create a copy, by simply selecting and dragging while holding Option on a Mac, Alt on Windows. So it's Selection tool, letter V, and not Shift A tool. Let me know, Richard, if I replied to your questions, but right, let's go ahead and start to play with our packaging. Before doing so, I want to strongly recommend you to create a libraries, because as I said, those are always a huge time saver. We're working with the Creative Cloud, and you can also access it from anywhere. So for example, you end up doing a menu for this chocolatier, or maybe some tags in InDesign, you can just access the libraries as well. So let's go ahead and click on libraries. And if you do not find your libraries in your workspace, head to Window and then select libraries right here to make sure that the libraries panel will appear. Then from the main panel, click on the little plus icon to create a new library, just like so. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see the little panel. And let's name this one chocolate. Actually, let's name it with a brand, Cocoa, and click on create. Then when you create a library, you will be able to import colors. For example, if you select this color over here and then click on the little plus icon, as you can see, there is already the libraries will give you different possibilities if you're adding a shape, if you want to add the color, or if you want to add all. In this case, I just want to add the fill color that belong to that shape. So I just click fill color, and I'm going to keep doing the same for the other colors, just like that. Another way of doing it, which is perhaps a little bit faster, is to click and use the shortcut Command A to select everything that is in our branding board. And then we can go ahead and bring up our swatches panel by hitting on Window and choose Swatches. And from here, we can click on this little folder, and then we can create a folder called Cocoa, and click on OK, making sure that we include the selected artwork swatches, and click on OK. And as you can see, under our swatches panel, we created a folder, a group that contains all the color that belongs to our brand. Then click once into your little this little icon here, which is at the bottom of the swatches panel. And in just one click, boom, we add all the colors directly into our libraries. Also, something really cool that we're going to be using today with our type is that you can create a type a paragraph style. And by the way, sorry, I'm like stuttering here because I'm very curious to see if there was a solution to the question, if I understood the question right, Richard. It is on the release that you add the group select A to activate in a video 2 days ago. What you demonstrated is what I see, so we're good. Oh, did I think we were talking about the selection group. I think we were talking about the selection group. Let me just go ahead and see. That was him. Oh, okay. So I think that here we were talking about the selection group. So if you go under the direct selection tool and then you find the group selection tool, this is a fantastic tool that will allow you to select any item that belongs to a group without ungrouping the items, just like so. And you can also access it by pressing the letter A. So for example, let me show you. Now this is a group and it still is a group. So I'm not ungrouping it, I'm not entering the group, it's just a group and it stays there. Now if I press the letter A, I have the direct selection tool. And if I select something, I just select vector points or anchor points, just single little points. But you can access the group selection tool with the direct selection tool. So by pressing the letter A and then press on option, and there is a little plus coming up next to my tool, just like so. And when you enter this group selection tool, you then be able to select an entire shape that belongs to a group. And then if you go back to the letter V and then Alt Option, boom, you can just copy that element from the group and the group is intact. So everything still belongs to the group. Hopefully that gives you more insight, and I'm not sure if that's what you were talking about, but I just keep giving you information there. So at least it's somewhat useful. So Ashraful is asking, is it possible to extract color from a raster image? Yes, it is. There are two different ways of doing so. One is with the wonderful recolor, with the new recolor workspace. And I'm just gonna go into my libraries and click on a down pointing arrow. And in this case, I'm gonna go and select Adobe Stock. And I'm just gonna select fruit. I'm just gonna do a random research here. And I really want to take care of answer to your question. And look at this. I'm just going to grab this photo by pressing the little plus icon. And then I'm going to click and drag it into my folder over here. Now, let's say that I want these little color shapes to change. I'm going to select all of those to grab the color from this raster image. I'm going to place it here so it's a little bit easier to see. All I have to do is to click on Edit, then Edit Color, and then recolor artwork. And with the color theme picker, you're gonna be able to, making sure that you select your shape first, then again, edit colors, recolor artwork. With the color theme picker selected, you can go ahead and click on a raster image. And as you can see, your vector will pick up right away the color that belong to the image. We just like this one here. So we got a red, we got the green, and we got the white, and you can also distribute them as you wish into your folder. And then from here you can do the same trick like we did before. Go ahead and click on the little group and again select these new tints and add them to your library. Boom. So we literally lifted some color from a photo, added to our images, and place into our libraries. Fantastic. So let's move on with the type. So what I was going to say here is that if we create a paragraph style, which yesterday in the chat someone say that it was pretty much like CSS if you're familiar with coding. So creating a style for your font. All you have to do is to select your font, go under window. Once of course created some style, so you added a font, you had a family, font family, you had a size of the font, and you're happy with it. And then go under type and click on paragraph styles in order to bring up your paragraph styles. It looks like it's already out here. Maybe I should move the swatches. And with your type selected, click on the little plus icon in order to create a new paragraph style. And you can call this one, I'm going to call it Cocoa, so I know what it is, and I can click on OK. Now from here, you can also add your paragraph styles right into your library. So when we jump back into our packaging, they are ready to be used. So let's go ahead and also select some of these illustrations so we'll be able to use them into our packaging. Press Command C and move back into your packaging design folder and paste them. Now remember, you can also add your graphics into your library just by dragging them, or select the graphic that you wish and right click in order to bring it into the library, just simply by selecting add to library. But remember that when you do so and you bring an image in, the artwork will show up as a PNG, so already as a rastered image, and you won't be able to edit it unless you don't access it from the library. So in this case, you can edit the image from the library. Just gonna make it blue just for the sake of it. Press Command S to save, and as you can see, the item on the library will update, and so it will the item, the PNG that is on your design. So at the moment, since I'm still working in Illustrator, I just rather copy the Illustrator file here. Now with this little template that I provided for you, is going to be very easy to actually start editing. So I'm gonna go ahead and double click here in order to start to select the initial shapes. And all you have to do is to start to add colors simply by clicking into your little library in order to give the color to your shapes. And here it is, just simply click once and then go back into your library, and you're pretty much done. Now let's go back into the libraries and click on this little down pointing arrow to make sure that we select Adobe Stock, and from here we can look for gold texture. Remember always to use some relevant keywords here. So again, click on a down pointing arrow, make sure that Adobe Stock is selected so you can search Adobe Stock, and we can search for gold texture and press enter. Now from here, click on the little filter and make sure that you select photos, because we just want to get like these little goldish textures here, and you can select whichever one suits your needs. And it doesn't have to be gold, it can even be rose gold, for example, just to make it a little bit more different if that's what you want, or we can make it even copper. So again, whatever you wish is there available for you. So I'm going to click on the plus in order to add it, and it will be added into your library. Then just click and drag to bring it in your design, and as you can see, it's got the Adobe Stock little overlay, because we're just still working with it. If you decided to use it for your final project, make sure to click on the little cart icon in order to license it. But for now, we're just going to keep the Adobe Stock little watermark. Now, in order to add this texture to the rest of the items like I did here, all you have to do is to make sure that you select whatever is the item that you want to add your texture with, and I'm going to delete it for now, and double click into it. So make sure that you select this little item here at the bottom. Now click and drag to bring the texture inside that group. Use the shortcut Command Shift left bracket to bring it at the back, and just use the Shift key in order to select both the texture and the element that you want to use in order to mask the texture. Then press Command 7, boom, and here it is. We're actually using the texture into your graphic elements, and that's what I did there. Now take your time and add that to the different element that you want. Remember, select the object and select the texture. The object needs to be on top, the texture underneath, and with the shortcut Command 7 on a Mac, Control 7 on Windows, it becomes a clipping mask, and you can see the texture just through that shape, like a little window. Something that I wanted to show you, and I got a few more minutes, so I just want to make sure that I get on it, is the puppet work tool. So here I've added our little cheetah or leopard, or I think it's a cheetah. I'm not sure if cheetah's got spots like that, but I just think of a cheetah because it's the little C there. And we got Steph McCulloch in the house. Hi Steph, nice to see you. Steph is a dear friend of mine, also amazing instructor in Photoshop. Make sure to go ahead and check his profile out. But yeah, as I say, we got a few more minutes, ton of things I want to show you as usual. What I wanted to show you here is that there is a very cool tool that gets neglected in Illustrator, but is very easy to use and is very cool, as I said, very fun, which is the puppet work. And I thought it was really nice in order to create variation if you want of your packaging. So make sure that you select the little cheetah that I provided, and go ahead and click on the free transform tool that you find here on your toolbar. I'm going to zoom in the toolbar just to make sure that you see the way that it looks like. So you can reveal the paperwork tool, which is nested below. Now, as you can see in this little sheet, I already added multiple points. What you want to make sure is that to click once in order to add the point, and the point will allow you to move but also to lock a position. So as you can see, I've added a point over here and here at the base of the illustration, and then different one at the little tail. Now you select one, and what you can do is to move the little spot. And what I'm going to do is to delete those. In order to delete them, just select them and press the delete key. So I can just start from scratch, and you can see the way that I work. I will put one here where I want to keep the position fixed, just like so. And then I can use one at the top, which is the area that I want to move. And now if for example, this one look like is affecting this bottom part of the tail as well, you want to make sure that you go ahead and actually lock the side that you want to, and move the little one over here. So it looks like you really have to be precise, because this illustration has a lot of different points here. But as you can see, you can move the little tail and changes its position. You can also make it like a little bit smaller, so you can contract the shape simply by dragging your little point for the paperwork. So we can see we can make the tail a little bit shorter. Maybe if you just wanted to hang out down here, or move it around. And you can do the same with the face. I was just trying to play around here with the ears. I created these little stops with the paperwork tool in order to stop these areas, and then I can use this one just to move the ears. So as you can see, there is some movement that goes around. It will take some time to understand which are the area that you want to freeze and which are the area that you want to move. So you can move the little ears of the cheetah just like so, and you can make sure that the rest of the illustration and the body doesn't move. So I thought that that was a very cool tool to show. I think that I created too many points, and again, you can do that with any sort of illustration. So if you select your little cacti here, again, go ahead and click on the paperwork tool and just select here the arm of the cacti, and again, make sure that you go ahead and try out so you know that you can stop the rest of the illustration. You can twist and bend your little cacti just like so, almost as an animation. And if you don't want to move the top, again, just stick some little points here so it doesn't move, and you can just move the arm. Maybe you can see a little bit better like that, just like so. Just make sure not to break it. But that's a very fantastic tool to also, if you want to animate and create some motion with your little illustration. Fantastic. And now it's time to export our work. So I think I'm going to export this one here. I know it's very simple, but I find it quite elegant. In order to export an artboard, make sure to use the shortcut Option Command E to access the export for screen. Then click on the artboard that you would like to export, and I'm going to deselect the first one, and maybe I can select both of the two final ones. And you can here select the destination folder by clicking on the little folder, and then click on Export Artboard. Fantastic. So as you can see, I have here on my desktop the new little illustration, and all you have to do is to head, I got 1 minute to say it. You can go ahead on bit.ly/AI Discord, which is the Discord channel for the Illustrator Creative Challenge, and here you will be able to join the wonderful international community in order to receive feedback on your work by clicking on the little plus icon at the bottom, and then select your artwork. Let's see, hopefully I can find them here. Here they are. You can also select more than one image from your machine. And this is challenge number 9, and click on upload in order to upload your work, share with the world, and have some feedback. Now, before we say goodbye, I want to make sure that I share with you something that it just came out that I'm super proud of, which is a series in Adobe Illustrator. It's called Illustrator Bootcamp. It's just been launched from Adobe. You can find it here, I believe, on the Adobe Creative Cloud Adobe for Education YouTube channel, and that's yours truly sharing amazing techniques in order to create some wonderful marketing material in Illustrator. Now, before we say our last goodbye, I want to make sure that you also share your work on Behance, because you will have the chance to be handpicked and selected in order to be featured in the wonderful galleries. In order to be featured in the galleries, all you have to do is to add the hashtag AI Creative Challenge to your project. And boom, look at these wonderful people that have been already selected. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. I had a blast during these 2 weeks here with you. I hope you guys had fun and learned some very wonderful techniques. Go back into the main landing page if you want to rewatch these and other videos. But it's bye-bye for now, and I'll definitely see you on the 9th of December for another Rework It with Jesus Ramirez. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.